Hello everyone, this is Fengyan from Cincinnati and I'm doing the presentation for the Exploring Religion and Culture in Japan. The course is AIST 20664 and the year is 2019. So first, I will show you some of my experience staying in Japan, and then I'm gonna show you some tips if you're really gonna apply for this program. So first, from those pictures, you can see that I went to the Meiji Jinsu, and the first picture is about the torii. Torii in Japan, in Japanese, means the house for the birds, because the birds will not fly into the shrine if they live there. And it's said that the torii is the boundary line between the kami's world and the human world. When you step into torii, it shows that you have entered the Shinto. Our behaviors should be done much more carefully. And there is a unique way for us to enter the shrine. Apart from the fact that you can't walk through the main entrance when you enter the torii, there will be such a washing stand outside every shrine. Local people also taught us how to wash our hands. Before entering into the shrine, you must wash your hands and mouth to show respect for the kami. There are also some wish cards in the shrine. You can see from the pictures. Japanese citizens would like to show their best wishes to their kami so they may get blessed. And also in Japanese Shinto, kami is not a specific existence like Jesus, but it can exist in all kinds of things, such as environment, natural disasters, and even someone. It originates from people's awe. In a sense, I think its logic is actually essential. People regard it as a god because of awe, and this is contrary to the logic of existential, which regards that you are someone because you do something. But for me, it's still reasonable because we also visited the Meiji Jinsu in Japan, and we even saw young couple holding traditional Japanese wedding in shrine. They all dressed in white, which is actually quite different from China, because in China, traditional wedding people always dress in red. I think it may represent the image of the bridge as pure as paper. And from this picture, you can see that we went to the Chiba University on the same day. And although it's just the gates of the university, but the university is really beautiful. And we even got the certificate of the admission from that school, and I'm really happy about that because I've never thought that I could get admission from the Japanese school. On the second day, we went to the Chiba University to take the class, and the professor at Chiba University gave us a detailed introduction of the history of Japanese books. I used to think that China was the earliest country in the history of printed books, but through his explanations, I learned that Japan might be the first country to produce printed books, and its book history can be traced back thousands of years. I also learned that printing technology is constantly innovating, and now it has even reached the point where there's no need to store paper books in bookstores, and customers can make books themselves if they want to purchase for any books. His explanation enabled me to obtain a brand new understanding of the book history. We also traveled to Kamakura to visit Ingakuji, Tokuji, and the Great Buddha. Ingakuji is one of the oldest Zen temples in the world, and in order to mourn the death of Mongolian heroes during the period of Mongolian invasion of Japan, a temple was built, and Mugaku Shogun was invited from Mongolia to preside over the opening of the mountain. And in the temple, the mountain gate is majestic, and there are mountains and rivers, and also the dry landscape of the abbot's courtyard is beautiful. After spending half a day in Ingakuji, I also found many crows in the temple. It is known that Japan regards crow as a lucky bird, a national bird and the supreme divine bird, which made the temple more sacred. And speak of Zen, we also went to Kyoto and stayed in a Zen monastery for a night. The monastery was quite novel to me because I've never seen a Zen monastery at China before. A Japanese monastery does not only teach children carrots but also tell them the idea of Zen, and those children are also supposed to do meditation at morning. Basically, we just experienced Japanese students' whole day studying in a monastery, and that was really interesting for me because I've never tried to do the meditation or sleep in a monastery before. And also, if you are interested in the Japanese animations, you may also want to choose this trip because we went to the Ghibli Museum, and that was really interesting experience for me. And also, we went to the Akihabara, because I am a really crazy fan for the Japanese animation, so I really enjoy those 2 days because I got so many chances to get in touch with those animation producers and also some animation shops. So I got so many souvenirs there. And for those who like to play the Pokemon Go, there is a really huge Pokemon Center in Tokyo, and I think there is everything you can imagine uh, related to the Pokemon there. And we got a huge sum of souvenirs there. And also the food in Japan is really delicious. And there are so many different kinds of food in Japan, and you can see from the pictures and see how I get fat there. And also for the communication with local students, we stayed in Chiba University for more than 10 days, and we got a lot of time we got a lot of time staying with them. So we got a lot of communications. You can see from the pictures. We learned how to do the saddle there. Saddle means the process of making a green tea and how to drink it. Also, we learned how to make sushi, and those Japanese students are really hospitable, and we really enjoy those days. And for the communication with local family, you will get 2 days spending time with the local family. And my host family treated me really well, and I got a great time spending with them, playing games with their children and watching them playing the football game. And also we went for dinner together. Yoshimi, the hoster, he treated me really well, and we got a really lot of conversation about many topics such as the cultural difference between China, Japan, and America. Alright, here are some tips for those who already decided to apply for this program. The first is about the accommodation. For this trip, for our turn, we chose to live in the capsule hotel, and that was a really interesting experience for us because I've never been living in such a small room before. But if you are gonna stay there for like more than 2 weeks, try to be careful because it's really dry there. And if you do not like to stay in a small place, you can just tell your tutor, and maybe you can change a place to live. And also for the transportation, the railway station, the railway in Japan is really convenient, but also it is really crowded, and sometimes it's even complicated for you to take because there are so many railway companies, and you need to figure out which one you should take and which one you should not take. And this is all from my presentation. I hope you will get interested in this program and have a good time in Japan.